With the rumors of the women's pay-per-view Evolution coming back in 2025, today we'll be going back and forth and giving our own match cards for a potential women's Evolution pay-per-view this year. This year, I think, has been very good for the women so far. We're very early on in the year, but they have got a lot more pay-per-view time or TV time and stuff like that. Not only in WWE, but in AEW. But yeah, I'm interested to see what we have for our cards.
Yeah, the women have been putting on amazing performances, even obviously beyond this year and the past years as well. And for once, WWE probably has the best women's division in all of wrestling. It's not just, a thing that they say. They kind of actually do have the best women's division right now. So yeah, very interested to see how this card turns out for us and how it actually unfolds.
Alright, let's kick things off and we're going to start with match 1. For my opening match, I have Bayley versus Roxanne Perez, and this one is something that's kind of brewing right now on TV right now, and I think it's something that you have a legend in Bayley versus probably a future legend in Roxanne Perez going at it on a big women's pay-per-view. I think it would be something that in the history books, it's going to look really cool to see, a young Roxanne Perez versus, not I'm going to say an old Bayley, but a probably like a little bit past her peak or a little bit past her, her prime, but still would be a great match. And I think the chemistry they've had has been great so far.
Yeah, for sure. That's a match that, like you mentioned, is kind of rumored. I have a match that'll be similar to that I'll bring up later on in my card. However, my first one is going to be a women's championship match off the rip, and that's Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill coming off a big WrestleMania win versus Naomi. Same thing for Tiffany. She's coming off a huge WrestleMania retaining of her championship over Charlotte Flair. So it'd be a big match for both people, and I think it kind of makes sense in the current story.
Yeah. All right, let's go to match 2 now. I have my first title match, and that is Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Champion. Again, this is another one that's kind of been brewing on TV. We just seen Becky Lynch turn heel on Lyra on the Raw after Mania, so this is something that's probably going to happen down the line, probably maybe at Backlash. But yeah, very good match, and I think for both of them it probably means a lot.
Yeah, I have the exact same match, so everything you said, you can apply it to the same one for me as well.
Alright, for my match 3, I have 2 people that you mentioned earlier, but I have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a triple threat for the Women's Championship. Like you mentioned, Jade Cargill coming off that big win over Naomi, kind of propels her to that title picture, but Naomi can somehow try to sneak her way and get this match official to get her in the match.
Yeah, I had a match similar to this that I originally had for Tiffy and Jay, where I had Charlotte in the match as well in a triple threat, because we've seen a lot of stare-offs between Jade and Charlotte even when she first got signed. I believe Charlotte was one of the first people that kind of stared her down a little bit when she was signed in Nick Aldis's office or Adam Pearce's office, whoever it was. But yeah, so that's kind of what was my first one. However, my next match is going to be a women's tag team title match between Lash Legend and Jakara versus Liv and Raquel, the women's championship. So great tag team match there. Could be a call-up moment for them potentially, and could be a maybe they win the titles here as well.
For my next match, I have Soruka defending her NXT Women's North American Champion against Julia. Now, we've seen Julia already with the NXT Women's World Champion, so I think now that maybe she can go for Soruka. Probably doesn't win in this match, but should be a really fun match. We haven't seen them lock up yet. I think could turn out really well.
Yeah, for sure. I think that would be a great match. We never seen them lock up together or anything. Julia, had a little bit of time off with the injury or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, it'd be cool to start seeing her knock out some of those names on the NXT roster. But moving on to my next one, this is the match I was hinting at earlier. And we have Bayley and Rhea versus Roxanne Perez and Julia. Obviously, Roxanne Perez and Julia just kind of attacked Stephanie and Io at the same time. Roxanne Perez claims that, it wasn't necessarily part of the plan. They just came at the same time, and they just so happened to be there. I'm not going to fall for that. I think they're together, and I think this would be a great tag team match just to throw together just a lot of the top stars versus the upcoming top stars.
Yeah. For my next one, I have a similar one that you had, and this is for the Women's Tag Team Champion. I do have Liv and Raquel taking on Lash and Jakara, but also I threw in Maxine Dupree and Natalya. They seem to be like a little mini tag team, and I wanted to get Natalya on here. She's more than deserving of a spot on a women's pay-per-view. She probably won't be on too many pay-per-views down the line, so I think to give her a spotlight here, maybe she doesn't win this match. I think I'd probably have Liv and Raquel retain. But, yeah, it should just be a really pretty fun match with a lot of big and tall, or small and tall and stuff like that combinations.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great match as well, and Natty definitely does deserve Unfortunately, I don't have her on mine because my next one is going to be a fatal four-way match between Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, and I also wanted someone to debut / return, and I have Brie Bella making a return to the WWE. I had Masha Slamovich at first, but I kind of swapped it to Brie Bella because it feels more realistic and she's been used recently and whatnot. So yeah, fatal four-way match for the U.S. title: Bianca Belair, Brie Bella, Chelsea Green, and Charlotte Flair.
Like that. For my next one, I have probably a dream match for a lot of people, and it's one of mine. And it's Rhea Ripley versus Jordynne Grace, a battle of the two big women who can outstrength each other. Should be a really fun match, and I think they could probably have a really good match.
Yeah, that's a huge match. That's really a WrestleMania worthy match at some point down the line. Jordynne Grace will undoubtedly perform at many WrestleManias in the near future. So seeing her versus Rhea Ripley to kind of give her that big introduction, the actual match on the main roster rather than just the Royal Rumble, I think that'd be great for her. Yeah. But moving on to my main event, we have something that we already kind of seen, but it was Io Sky versus Stephanie McCurr. I have it as title versus title. You know, maybe you could not do that. That'd be a little bit weird, maybe. But yeah, some kind of title could be on the line here, and yeah, I think it'd be a great match, potentially match of the year, match of all time. Like this could go so many different directions in this match of how good it can be. It could reach any level that they want it to reach, they being the WWE producers of the match and stuff. But yeah, these women can knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I do have an extra match on mine, but my second to last match is the Women's United States Championship, and that is Chelsea Green defending her title against Bianca Belair. I think it would be a great way to have Bianca get a belt back. She hasn't had a belt in quite a while, it feels, and I think her being the second Women's United States Champion after Chelsea's pretty solid reign so far. I wish she had more time, but unfortunately that's not the case right now. But yeah, I think it would be a great way to maybe propel the United States champion to like bigger stages or bigger levels than what Chelsea hasn't been able to do so far, but not to her own fault.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in my main event, the match you also had, I have Io Sky versus Stephanie McCurr. This is more of just a respect match. They didn't get to finish their match. Let's run it back. Let's have it finish. And yeah, that's just a match that we seen a little bit of it, and it was amazing. I think they have a full-on main event match. It would be even better.
Yeah, for sure. If you give them 20-25 minutes to kind of fully tear the house down and kind of just give them the amount of time that they need, no distractions or, you know, any kind of that stuff, I think it'd be an amazing match. But yeah, Evolution 2 seems to be on the horizon. I'm getting very excited for it. They seem to be ramping up a lot of the stories and progressing just characters of women and bringing them up to the main roster soon. We've seen Roxanne and Julia show up recently. We've seen Jada Parker on the Royal Rumble. We've seen Lash Legend show up at the Royal Rumble, and such as other people as well. So it's a very exciting time in the WWE. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes from this pay-per-view and how they decide to book it.
Yeah. Well, let us know what you guys let us know who you think had the better card, whether it's him or me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.